Hi, I'm Lawrence Copeland. I'm speaking for you on behalf of Life the Basic Manual, and we're going to talk today about buying your first home. Imagine a first-time buyer buying for the first time and the process that you need to go through to eventually make an offer and complete your first home purchase. To do this, the most important thing before we do anything else is to actually physically go out and find out how much you can afford to buy. Before we do that, we need to know, have we got a good credit history? Because if we haven't, we ain't going to get the mortgage, and you may have to rent for a little bit longer. But ultimately, we need you to visit an independent financial advisor, and I say independent so that you can get a cross range of mortgage deals and which lenders are more flexible to your criteria. And then once you've done that and identified the advisor, you need to actually physically go and have a meeting, and they will actually be able to do referencing, checking, and hopefully give you an idea of what the maximum you can afford to go for on mortgage. Once you've ascertained this, we need to then know that really you're going to need at least a minimum of 10% deposit to put down on your first home. And the reality of that is, where are you going to get that money from? In most cases, a lot of first-time buyers are borrowing the money or actually being gifted the money by their parents or grandparents. So once we know, obviously, we've got the mortgage power, we know how much we can afford to go for, then your 10% deposit. On top of that, we've then got our legal fees that you're going to have to pay. You're going to have stamp duty, possibly, depending on the price range that you're buying in. The stamp duty will change from time to time with regard to legislation, so we won't be specific with that, but it needs checking on. And whether you'll need money for survey fees, etc. So all the costs of actually potentially purchasing property will then give you an overall view of what price range you should be going out and looking at. You'll have a comfort zone and you'll have a stretch zone. You might be able to go to that. Sometimes on your first home, it's worth possibly stretching, even though the repayment might be that little bit higher, just to get the right property. Might make the a big difference in where you want to be and what you want to achieve. So once we've looked at all the figures, we need to check with a solicitor. Local solicitors, I'm sure parents will be able to recommend solicitors to you. Estate agents will be able to recommend solicitors to you. And it's important that you get an idea on the legal fees, the costs. They're all added together to look at the overall picture. Once you've finally done that, you need to then do the question, where do I want to live? Is it proximity to work? Is it a particular type of property that you're looking for? Do I want a house? Do I want to have to maintain a garden, an external maintenance of a property? Or do I want to just basically live in an apartment where I can shut the door and not have to worry about any of the outside renovations? We've now ascertained the first part of the process, which is finding out how much you can afford to pay to buy a new home. And once you've done this, that is the first stage over, and we'd like to obviously do other videos to highlight the next few stages as we go through the process.